There happens to be three dorms at Easton Magic Academy. The academy assigns students with corresponding abilities to each dorm. The first dorm is named Alder, which houses students with courage and conviction. Then Orca, which houses students with wisdom and willingness. Finally, Lang. This houses students with ability and ambition. The uniqueness of the characteristics of each dorm make them rivals against each other. In order to visualize their principles and positions, the dorms carry their rivalry across the entire academy. In the Alder dorm, where Mash and Finn live, they are seated facing each other in their room, room 302. There, Mash shows Finn his silver coin, although they are reminded that 5 silver coins make a gold coin. Since Mash has just 2 coins, he tries to calculate how many coins he has to get more in order to get a gold coin. Surprisingly, his calculation gives him the number 28. This is even more surprising to Finn, who reveals the current answer as 3. Hearing this, Mash covers up, stating that it was a trick question. Apparently, Finn doesn't think it is. Hearing Finn say this, Mash assumes he's trying to state that he is a meathead. Finn, however, doesn't hesitate to confirm it. With nothing more to prove, Mash drops the coin as he takes a look at the sun through the window. Looking out, he is comforted at the fact that the day is so peaceful with nothing to do. To this, Finn is pleased. Their moment of relaxation is immediately halted when Finn remembers that they were given assignments which they haven't done. Remembering this, he begins to panic. More so when he remembers that it's a potions assignment, which they have to submit unless they intend to risk being severely marked down and find themselves in the dropout range. While he panics, Mash offers him a cream puff. Seeing this, he makes him know that this is not the time for snacks. This makes Mash join him in panicking as an obvious sign of solidarity. Their panic is eventually interrupted by Lance, who wonders why they haven't done their assignment. Since they have just been loitering around doing nothing, Lance refers to them as the dictionary definition of slackers. While they do not argue, Finn seeks to know if Lance has done his assignment, and the latter states that he has. Most especially since he is a lot more conscious than they are. This doesn't surprise Finn, who expected such an answer from Lance, who happens to be the top student in the class. On the other hand, Lance thinks they will ruin the dorm's reputation due to their behavior, cautioning them to have some shame. While Lance talks, Mash, who hasn't said anything for a while now, walks up to him and opens up the pendant hanging on his neck. This reveals the image of his sister, Anna, in a bright reflection. This reflection causes him to be thrown to the wall. While Lance passes out, he thinks it is his fate to succumb to the bright and feeble warmth of his sister. When Lance regains consciousness, he takes them to the kitchen, where he provides them with the necessary ingredients needed, one of which is a mandragora. These happen to be alive and give off very loud screams. According to Lance, in order to use it as ingredient, they have to silence the screams of the mandragoras. Successfully silencing the screams of the mandragoras would make them suitable universal ingredients for making potions. Hearing this, Mash wonders why this has to be another thing that requires magic. This causes Finn to be shocked, since everything they do at the academy requires magic. Meanwhile, Lance offers to show them how silencing the mandragora is done, using the spell Quietus. He's able to cause it to sleep. After that, he gives them each a mandragora. Finn tries his best to replicate the spell, but finds it hard to do so as the mandragora continues to scream. Seeing him fail in his attempts, Mash offers him some advice on how to make it work. At that moment, we think he will get it done in no time. Unfortunately, when he does the mandragora starts to scream very loudly. While Mash faces his failed attempt at magic, Lance instructs Finn to focus his magic on one point, giving him clearer instructions to make it work. When Finn does this, the mandragora falls asleep. This makes him excited, but Lance thinks it isn't much of an achievement, as it is expected for even slackers like him to do this much. Only if the same could be said for Mash, who at this time has made his mandragora to be very huge and angry. This scares the hell out of Finn. The huge mandragora, however, attacks Mash. While it attacks him, he dodges and gives it a powerful slap, causing it to pass out. With this, he feels the task is complete. With that part of the potion making complete, Lance teaches them the next step. The sleeping mandragoras have now become herbs, which he turns into a compound by cutting, frying, and adding some spices. As much as the process seemed simple for Mash, it was very complicated for Finn. When Mash tries to replicate it, stating that he's good in anything that does not involve magic, he ends up making a cream puff. This shocks Vin to the bones, as he wonders how that is even possible. Lance doesn't see it as an issue at first, as he thinks Mash is trying to mess with him. However, the latter tries again and ends up producing the same result. This is even more surprising to Lance, who spent his time narrating and following up the entire process. With this, Lance concludes that Mash is completely useless with anything that doesn't involve fighting. Just then he warns Mash, stating that he would never lose to him again, revealing that there is a reason he needs to join the Bureau of Magic. We all know that reason is his sister Anna. However, when Mash seeks to know what the reason is, Lance states that it's none of his business. Although he acknowledges the fact that Mash equaled him in combat, he's determined not to allow some nobody take away Mash's coins. Mash, on the other hand, doesn't feel the need to be warned since he is confident it won't happen. Meanwhile, the principal thinks about all of the dorm off-campus class coming soon. He wonders if Mash would be alright. At the same time, some students walk past the hall and one of them is hit by a red-haired student who passes without apologizing. This makes them angry as they all turn around, calling him to action. Shockingly, he easily beats them up, referring to them as side characters who have no rights to give him orders. In a shocking turn of events, the students in the Lang dorm are being told about the power of the divine missionaries. Apparently, they are the ones who rule the world. The leader seeks to know what traits a ruler should possess. In response, one of them says a leader should possess a noble bloodline and an overwhelming power that broods no argument. With this answer, it convinces that the position of power doesn't belong to those in Alder, but they who are in Lang, when he orders them to seize all the coins belonging to the students in Alder. Meanwhile, 3 of the students in Alder happen to be occupied with trying to make a potion, which results in cream puffs. The cream puffs, however, happen to be tasty, even while made with mandragora. The next day, the students are made to wait in the woods as they have no idea why they are waiting. Mash, when asked, assumes they are going for camping. But Lance doesn't think that that's the case since they are in a magical school. While waiting, the red-haired kid who had beaten the other students arrives. Apparently, his name is Dot Barrett. He keeps screaming that he is number 1, and the main character, with every other person being a side character to him. When he approaches the trio, they find him to be weird. He, however, recognizes Mash immediately as the student everyone talks about. He clearly states that Mash is the side character today. While he continues babbling, his talk is interrupted by a girl who runs towards Mash in admiration. Seeing how she is close to him pisses Dot off. He's unable to hold in his disgust at the situation, as he blurts out the fact that he hates guys who get attention from women, threatening to kill Mash. He feels offended that no girl admires him, and guys like Mash who are hot get all the attention from the girls. This, he claims, led him to want to join the Bureau of Magic in order to rid the world of hot guys like Mash. Really, man? That's what you're aiming at? While he rambles on, a teacher appears, stating that the exercise would be done by the Adler and Lang dorms only, with their rewards being either bronze or silver coins. For their task, he shows them a forest scorpion, instructing that they are expected to exterminate them and return with these stones embedded in their foreheads. While most of the forest scorpions are worth bronze coins, a few very strong ones are worth silver coins. These few would definitely be hard to find and harder to kill. The teacher states that killing the scorpions should be a challenging feat since even magicians find it hard to do so. However, he feels that they are capable of doing so as students of the academy. Ready to embark on the quest, Lance lets Mash know that he intends to get silver coins in his task. Just before going further, one of the students in the Lang dorm named Silva, who seems to have an issue with Mash, arrives. He scolds Mash for looking down on others and uses his earth magic to create a pillar, which hits Mash in the gut. Seeing this, the professor threatens to remove some of Silva's marks for that, but he apologizes. Then he heads into the forest. While he walks away, Mash tries to follow him, but is stopped by Lance, who cautions him, stating that Silva is a year above them. Aside from that, he's known for misconduct and also beating a teacher, which had led him to repeat the year. However, the academy has been unable to expel him due to his magical talents. All of this does not bother Mash, who seems more concerned about the safety of the cream puff he had hidden in his pocket. Seeing this, Lance realizes that it was the reason Mash had attempted to have a go at Silva. After that, the two head into the forest together. While in the forest, Lance finds that he is alone as Mash seems to have zoned out, and they are alone. Just then, Dot arrives and is shocked to see Mash. Since an opportunity has shown itself, he thinks it's time they fight. Just as they are about to do so, they hear the loud screams of a girl in the distance. Getting there, they see that she's about to be attacked by a fellow student who feels offended by her. Fortunately, she is saved by Dot, who blasts the student just before he attacks her. In appreciation, she thanks him and holds his hands. And this causes Dot, who has never been in this situation before, to be flustered. He tries his best to maintain his cool and keeps calm, but she continues to thank and touch him, causing him to start acting out. At that moment, we realize that she had casted a spell on him all along, causing him to fall madly in love with her, although I don't think she needed to go that far to get Dot. After getting Dot, she moves to charm Mash, who spends his time eating a cream puff at the moment. Her numerous attempts at getting him to accept her thanks are futile, as he continues to state that he had no hand in saving her. After that, she tells them that she is being chased by Silva, who had been threatening her. Just as she talks about it, he appears. Speak of the devil. On his appearance, Dot wastes no time in throwing various forms of attack at him, thinking he is dead. This, however, doesn't have any effect on Silva, who uses his earth magic to shield himself from Dot's attack. Then he launches an attack of his own, causing an earth pillar to strike Dot's gut. A stone from this causes Mash Cream Puff to fall out of his hand, leading him to finally be interested in the happenings around him. He mocks their skill, stating that even a moron would see the difference. This finally gets Mash involved, as we hope he gives Silva the beating of his life. If you liked this recap, do let me know in the comments, and obviously leave your like too. Don't forget to share it with your friends and subscribe. Above all, activate your notification bell so you don't miss the next episode when it drops. Until next time, do take care and stay safe.